video. Well, guys, I hope you guys had a wonderful day. It is about time to we get to the business of the day. Well, President Cyril Ramaphosa face the citizens arrest threat. Yes, the president of the republic has been receiving the threats that are coming from the citizens who want to see him being and one of the motivation here, everyone they ask, they say that if it did happen with President Jacob Zuma, who's now today in front of the court, what about President Ramaphosa? Because he had also committed something wrong as much as the President Jacob Zuma did back in days. So we are going to discuss about that in details in these videos. Of course, we will be talking also about Banyana Banyana, who are going to, who are preparing to go in African Cup of Nations. So there's some few details that we would like to discuss with all of you. For that reason, we want you guys to feel comfortable. It is about time. I believe some of you are watching us from inside your bed. Some of you are about to go to bed. So grab your cup of tea, sit down, relax. Let's have our evening time. This is our appointment that we usually do every day. We are here around this time where we get to talk about the matters that is facing our country, where we get to analyze and do the comments about what had happened. So that is our appointment that we have engaged ourselves in order to keep you guys informed and to help you guys not to be led wrongly by some people, especially politicians. As I always say, they can't be trusted. You can't trust a politician. Yes, because politicians, they are full of surprises. You know, they'll come to you, they'll tell you something today, and tomorrow they'll change. And if you have to remind them, how did we get here? Because when you first come to me, you did not tell me this. Now that you are in power, see what is happening. So that is the reason why we don't really like to rely on politicians. And as a young man, I believe anyone out there who's watching me, we have to engage ourselves in this kind of conversation and try to be to remain awake before it is too late for us. So guys, that is it. If you are joining us, do as we always do, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button for me. Before we get to start, I really do appreciate that. Also, feel free to comment in the comment section, guys. Engage yourself, give us your thoughts, tell us how you think, about what we're discussing. Give us your opinions. It counts as well, because that is the reason why we are here in this family meeting, as I always like to call it. So thank you so much for coming through again to us, guys. The first things that I would like us to discuss a little bit, it is about this little boy who had disappeared while he was busy playing with his friends. He followed in the water drain. Until now, they have not found this boy. We're talking about 11 days now that they have not found him. They tried to search. At the moment, according to the last report that we had reached to the point whereby they'll have to try to check at the final destination. If they don't get him there, which means that boy will disappear just like that. So we wish all the best to these people who are working in the field, so that they can find this boy. At least the family will have a closure. Guys, it is very painful, to lose your loved ones, and in a very miserable way, whereby you don't have even a closure, and you have to start asking yourself questions to know how come, what really happened, and yet you could not have the proper solution because you did not have a proper closure. So we just hope that they'll be able to find this boy. Also, another point that I would like us to talk about is about the Banyana Banyana. yesterday I tried to touch it a little bit, but we did not go more in details. So, guys, what happened is that Banyana Banyana present the national team, female national team of South Africa. So, if we have Bafana Bafana on other side, we have Banyana Banyana, and they all the same. But unfortunately, what I have noticed in our country is that they focus a lot on the boys' side, and on the boys' side, yet there's still a lot of disappointment, you know, and or even on the boys' side, you'll see that rugby they invest a lot of money, and that is the reason why you'll see that the rugby national team always do good because they invest a lot of money there, and because there's that money, all the players they're getting the money, that motivate also the player to do good. When you go on the female rugby players, they do also the same. They do very good, but unfortunately, when it comes to Banyana Banyana, I don't know what happened. All the administrations, they are not doing that good enough to make sure that this Banyana Banyana they can have everything they deserve to have as a player that can motivate them so that they will do good. Last time I had an interview, I exchanged with one of the Banyana Banyana player. She had to tell me some stuff, guys. Like you're not gonna believe how much do they get whenever they have to play, and that is something that you get only when you have to play. And when you playing big competitions, it's not something that you have to find every time because you have to play after like 6 months or a year. It depends on what is there. Now, for an example, in Africa, football, when it comes with female, they're still too small, and there's not a lot of competitions beside the African National Cup. So that make it very hard for these young ladies for them to make also enough money, but they're full of talent, yet they are not providing them with enough money. So what happened was that yesterday they the SAFA decided to put 10 million rand. They said to these ladies that you guys are going to take this money, go out there. I mean, you guys go out there, qualify the team, bring us the glory, then we'll give you the money. And that raised a lot of discussions among people, and everyone. They were like, what is going on with these people? Because you promising people money before they go instead of giving them money. Because what we know so far is that you have to give the money before someone else have to come and do the job. So when you give a player money in advance, it will motivate them, it will give them power for them to go and do good. Unfortunately, we don't know why they had to first send them, expect for them to bring the glory or the qualification, then after that they'll get the money. That we really condemn it as well from our side because it does not make sense. I don't know why they're treating them like this. Is it because they're ladies? That is just a question we have to find out because it does not really make sense. But I hope maybe they will change their mind and they have to be honest with us. They have to tell us how much is one player going to get before they go inside the airplane, because that's another thing. They must stop these things of saying that no, go first, then your money will follow after. Or go first, will give the money to your families. Those things are that are old school, and we don't really need it. So, guys, another point that I want to discuss with you, obviously, it is the state capture report that the president had to receive this evening. Finally, they have accepted to release this report. A lot of report, like look at books, so many of them. And this state capture, they started since 2018 for them to come and give this report today. What is a state capture for those who don't have an idea about it? Well, they had assigned this state capture investigation in 2018 so that they'll have to go through and have to check how is the country working, how is everything's like the system, like how is the money inside the country being managed, how much is the government getting, how much is the government spending, who signed for what document, who had received this money. So this state capture, it include everyone. And in this state capture, you will find out that they will have to investigate the president, starting with President Jacob Zuma, because it started on his. They'll have to investigate the presidents, uh, ministers, municipalities, ACBC, SARS. I mean, like um, any government, any belonging of the government, it has to be investigated. So that is the report that they've been trying to do all these years. Now they're supposed to deliver it long time ago. We're talking about 2 months ago that they're supposed to deliver this report. Unfortunately, it keep on pending. And the reason why it was pending, no one did not want to tell us the truth. Obviously, there has to be some reasons. And the reason, according to our source, is that in this report, the name of President CYRIL Ramaphosa is being mentioned also inside. Yes, there's some couple of things that the justice have to follow him up. And for that reason, since the ANC they did not want to expose the president, they had to find the proper or easy way to make it delay, so that they will try to see how they can plan fight for everything. So now what happened? When they bring the reports, first of all, we were expecting to have it yesterday, and it did not happen. Then after that, the Chief Justice come and explain that no, because there were some rumors which was raising up, whereby people keep on saying that President Ramaphosa is trying to mislead, or to tell the Chief Justice what to do with this report, in case if his name is already being mentioned inside. So the Chief of Justice came through and said that no, I'm not being manipulated. I'm delaying because of for different reasons, which has nothing to do with the president. When everything is ready, we're gonna come and give the report. Okay. Now, in this report, we end up realizing that all the necessary informations that people are looking forward to get to see, it look like it is missing, though they have not revealed, because according to the president Ramaphosa, he says that he will have to bring it to the parliament, because obviously he's gonna put his team together, which they'll have to read this report for he said in 4 months. So which means we'll have to put these people, they'll have to read it day and night and summarize everything that which are inside that report, and then him is gonna go and put it to he's gonna bring it to the parliament. So now the question here that everyone they're asking is to know is also the Phala Phala farm money robbery or laundry, I don't know. Is it also included inside? That is one of the questions that people would like to know. And I had a discussion of someone this evening. They had to tell me that that's Phala Phala farm money robbery is not involved, because they're still trying to investigate. And you guys, you could see how things are delaying so far, because with the Namibian police or government, they had said that they can't do much on the site at the moment, so they had throw everything back to South African government, so that they'll have to follow up, or either whether this program, whether these investigations, it was well respected the right of people who are being involved here, because apparently there are some people who were kidnapped, and there were some people who got tortured, all because they had to find where was the money. So for that reason, the Namibians, they feel like, okay, no, we can't get really involved. But for those who watch one of the videos that I uploaded recently, I had said that the reason why Namibians they are trying to slow a bit down about all this is because the pressure that the president of Namibia is being receiving at the moment is afraid to say that it can end up involving his name as well, because they were kind of saying like, okay, he's trying to protect Ramaphosa. And him also on his side, he said that no, I'm not protecting anyone. It's just that I want to know what really happened. So right now, that matter is being sent to the South African Justice, and you guys, you saw Mr. Lamola, Minister for Justice, how he explained also that on our side we are also trying to get to see what really happens before. So actually, guys, it is just a long explanations which they still need a bit of time in order for them to come up with a closure. And here, guys, trust me, there's no a easy way that President Ramaphosa is gonna sit and relax, waiting for people to come and ask him to step down. Because you saw it last time in the parliament, even when he was asked the question by the opposition side to answer or to try to explain about this Phala Phala farm money robbery. He denied, and you could see how the ANC people they kept on defending him, all because they don't want the same mistake that happened with Thabo Mbeki, Jacob Zuma. Thabo Mbeki, Kaleba Mutante, Jacob Zuma, and they don't want that to happen with him. So at the same time, they are having that they are shy. They are shy because for the rumors that people are saying that the ANC it keep on failing to choose the proper leaders, because all the leaders so far, if we have to put Nelson Mandela aside, all the leaders who remain in ANC, they come with stories. So some of them they'll come, looking very innocent. They'll give you a hope, and then you give them a chance. Once they're in the power, somewhere in the middle of the work, they'll end up split the beans. And the next things you guys will find out that, okay, no, what actually happened is that the president is involved in money robbery, or money laundering, or maybe corruption. So there's a Kantla, there's a Phala Phala, all those kind of stories. So it is kind of like ANC keep on failing with his leaders. For an example, look at Ramaphosa before he became a president. I personally, I was looking forward, I was so excited when he was assigned as the replacement of Jacob Zuma, because I was like, okay, at least him, we have an idea about who's Ramaphosa, because this man is a billionaire. He's a billionaire, and we can see it. Recently, you saw how he even have to trade his livestock animals for millions and millions of rands in one day. So no doubt about that. And there's no doubt of saying that no, Ramaphosa did that, because we all know that he have money. And this is one of the people who used to be the partner of ANC back in days in the 1990s, who used to like taking his own money, investing it in the party, and helping the party to organize its different stuff, because he had money. So no doubt about that. Mr. Ramaphosa, he got money, yes. But now, before he became a president, all of us were like, okay, because we have an idea of who he is or what he have, which means what we have experienced with the President Zuma, it won't be the case anymore, because everything now is more clear that at least him have money. So it won't be easy to corrupt him by people such as Guptas. Yes, because like if you don't have money, you're still gonna find some people like Guptas. They'll come, they'll corrupt you today. The moment you fall in the trap, the next things they'll start taking control of your brain, and they'll start guiding you, telling you what to do and what not to do. And that's what did happen back then. So when he came in power, obviously all of us were so excited, saying that, okay, we have find ourselves a president who's clean hands, and he have everything. So there's not gonna be dramas. After that, what happened next? All the promises Let's start first with promises that he had provided. What is it, that promise that you yourself on your side, you have it in your mind, that you would like to share with us? A promise, because you know, I was looking at the reports starting from Thabo Mbeki to President Ramaphosa, whether it is in the economy, whether it is on the job and the unemployment, whether it is in the South African rand rates to US dollar or pounds or euros, whether it is to crime, whether it is poverty, all those things that you guys, you know. I was looking at the report, guys. I'm telling you, it's very pity. It's very pity. The only person who try, at least, that was Thabo Mbeki. And other people, perhaps they'll say that's okay, it's because of the time has passed by. So since the time has passed by, which means things are also changing. That's not the case. Because if things are changing, the numbers of unemployment supposed not to change, because regardless what came on along the road, whether it is a COVID-19, whether it is whatsoever that can bring complications, for a president to provide what they had promised to people, at least the numbers should not differ from 10 to 20%. But today, whether it is in the crime, now we are number one. Unemployment, we can't even say. Unemployment, we're talking about more than 57%, especially youth who are jobless. Some, they finish school. Imagine the parents, they sacrifice everything, saying that, okay, let me prepare the future of my child so that tomorrow they'll become somebody. You graduate, yet you can't find a job. But still, in this country, we have people who are supposed to make sure that everyone have a job. And that is not happening. That's not happening. You know why? Politicians, as I always tell you. Guys, hit the like button. If you have not liked the videos, please do like the button. I will really do appreciate. So, guys, you know, President, he came in power with all these things. One thing that we almost closed, all of us, like we forgot, was that Mr. President is a businessman. And the businessmen, those are people who don't get tired of money. Regardless of how many millions they make, they still gonna need more money. Yes. So apparently, Mr. President had some business that he was doing. And this business, right now, thanks to Phala Phala farm money robbery, we end up discovering that it could be possible that there were some crazy things that been happening in that farm without people knowing. Because the amount of money that was stolen in that house was more than 4 millions. 4 million. Not rent, but US dollar. 4 millions. Yeah, you know. And that money, now the question was to know, how come this money has to be in cash when there's plenty of banks out there? Now the questions they're asking is to know, as I said earlier on, first of all, that no doubt that Mr. President have money because he's a businessman for so many years. Okay? No doubt about that. Now the question is just that, if this is your money and it is legal money that you did work for, how did it find itself in dollars? Who brought all these dollars? Because they're coming from somewhere. So who brought it? That's the question number one. Question number two. What was it for? By which road did it enter inside the country? Who let it in? Because according to the law of this country, you can't have more than 10,000 foreign currency in your house. It is a crime. You can't have that money. If you have it, those are the money that you need to go and declare it. I have traveled and I know how these things works. If you have money more than that amount, the moment you arrive at the airport, I don't know if you guys can even hear, like, the moment you arrive at the airport, the first things you do, you need to go to the immigrations and declare that money straight away. They will help you to put it through the bank account. If it is in dollar or euros, what they will do is that they will take that money and they will give you rents money, but you're not gonna even have it cash. Though you came with cash, but them they're not gonna give you cash when they exchange that money. Instead, they'll open a bank account for you. The only things they'll give you in your hand is your card and your PIN code. That's okay. Your money now is in the bank. That is how it goes. So now, having 4 millions in the house under your mattress, it's something very, very, very serious. And that is the reason why you see the president, since they've been asking him all these questions, he never even tried to respond back, because he knows if he respond back, he might end up making a mistake. And those mistakes is gonna even cost him, because right now, like, it is like a wire on his neck. There's no way that he can run away from this one. How did you get this money? When it came inside the country, who did you tell about it? Did you declare this money? So that they'll know where's this money coming for, what is it for, who does it belong to? You know, all those questions. How did this money go and find itself inside your house? That's another question. Now, beside those questions that I just mentioned, let's now start from the point when this money was stolen in that house. The next question to ask Mr. President is to know, where did you report that somebody stole 4 million US dollar in your house? That is another crime. Because obviously, if you have lost a lot of money like that and you try now to investigate to know who had stole this money or to arrest them, then you know where to go. To the police and report. So that the police will follow up. They'll ask you some few questions and they'll start now following up the case. That's how they get to arrest many people who are stealing out there. Now, so far, in the South African Police Service, there is not a case of Phala Phala money robbery. There's no a case number there. That is another something that really puts Mr. President in a very hard position. What explanation is he going to give? Because you are number one. You are head of the state. You're supposed to be a fine example that everyone will have to follow. Now, if it happened that something happened in your house and yet you did not report it to the police, you know what does that mean? That simply means to say that the president don't trust in South Africa Police Service. Though is the head, is the first commander in South Africa Police, but yet for the fact that he could not try to report this matter to the police, he had failed on that part. And he need to provide a convincing explanation to people of South Africa that, no, guys, look, okay, what happened is that after I find out that they had stole 4 million US dollar in my house, well, I did not report this matter to the police because of 1, 2, 3 reasons. Reasons that will convince you and that will convince me as well. You get it, right? So if that reason does not convince the court and people of South Africa, that is another crime that Mr. President will have to pay deeply. Besides that, for the fact that he did not report this matter to the police, he had hired his own private investigators who have to start following up. That is how they end up arresting all these people who were tortured. So he hired them. That's, I'm not too sure whether it is a crime or not, because we even saw how, I don't think it's a crime after all, because we also saw the EFF, Julius Malema, they did hire private investigators in order for them to put the ends on the kill of Hilary Gardis, because they did not also want to rely on the police. According to them, the reason was that if we leave this matter in the police hands, police will delay, because we saw it on how they did with Senzo Meiwa, made a case, it took forever, and the next thing, they are bringing the wrong people inside the court. So for that reason, the EFF and his leader Julius Malema, they decided to hire the private investigators. And these private investigators, thanks to them, those three people who are being arrested right now in made of Hilary Gadi, they are there because the first reason why they had to hire these private investigators was that the moment when they find out that Hilary Gadi, she was kidnapped, and they say, okay, guys, go ahead and find out who kidnapped her, where is she? And when these investigators, they went, they find it was too late for Hilary Gadi, she was dead by then. So when they came back, the EFF, they were like, okay, no, just now, since now she's dead, go ahead and find out who killed her. So find out who kidnapped her, who killed her, and for what reason. And that's what they did. They managed to put hands on two suspects, and the third one, it was also under the police, obviously under the leadership of Mr. Bekitsele. So having a private investigators, I don't think it is a really a crime, because all of us, we can do that. But as a president, you can have those private investigators, yet you should also trust in your police, because the minister of police come in the same party as yours, which is the ANC. So if you don't report this matter to the police, obviously there is something fishy somewhere there. Maybe you had something to hide that you did not want anyone to know about it. But thanks God, it's not for nothing when Jesus Christ said that you don't put a lamp under the bed, because wherever you try to hide the lamp, it's still gonna it's still gonna shine, because it's too bright for it to shine. And when it shine, everyone will see that down there is a lamp. When these things happens, no one did not know. All of us, we did not even have an idea, because this matter happened since 2020. That is 2 years ago. But look at today. The matter is here. So now, you guys, I'm trying to draw this picture so that you can get to understand why Mr. President is receiving the threat from the citizen that he should be arrested. Because everyone who's trying to understand this matter, at the end of the day, they'll have just to conclude that Mr. President, he deserves to be arrested immediately. People, when they start singing a song, hey, you'll see that they're not going to stop it any moment soon. So now, imagine Mr. President refused to trust his police. He hired his own private investigators. They did the job, and unfortunately, they mess up. They violate the rights of people who were under their custody. Yes, they managed to arrest some few people, and they had to torture these people. They had to torture them so that they'll find out where's that money. Though it was too late already. That money had traveled the border. You guys, you saw this guy, what is his name? Emmanuel, one of the people who stole that money. The mastermind behind the thief who have stole that money. This guy, he went back in Namibia. He built the house in his neighborhood for every poverty people or magogos who were in that village, because he grew up, and when he got money, you just feel like, no, I'm not going to eat this money alone. Let me also try to help people. He went around, he built about 50 houses. for everyone. The rest of the money, that is how he start now spending, and he bought this expensive Toyota, Range Rover. He really like tried to have that luxury life that proved that this person he got money. But the rest of people who were arrested by this private investigator of Mr. President, they got tortured, and these people, they had to come and reveal all these things. So there's a possibility of, starting from Mr. President to everyone who's involved in that torturing of those people, they can be charged for that, because you had violated somebody's life, the right, like you have violated. You guys, you saw the Hillary Gadi killers. Okay, suspectors that were inside, because I can't say that the killers, because they're still innocent until they are being found guilty. So these men, when they appear inside court, when they were given the word, the first word to speak from the mouth was to say that um, we need we need a doctor to have a look on us. When the judge asked them why, they were like, no, we needed a doctor because we've been tortured in order for us to speak. And that case, they had to postpone it, all just because the person who's supposed to be the accused or the suspector of killing someone, they had given the right or the reason to say that, no, I can't talk right now because my neck is so painful. Last night I did not sleep well. Why did not sleep well? Oh no, because the police, they come, they took my bed away. So the court, they have to respect their right, and that's how things goes. So when these private investigators of Mr. President Ramaphosa, when they had arrested these people, they don't have all the right for them to torture these people. Normally, after arresting them, they're supposed to take them to the police. Police is the one who have the proper techniques to ask a person some questions, or they can even torture you in a very like mentally, not physically. They can do that because they have the police is a government actually. They know how to do it. Now, when you go, you give an individual to do the job of police, obviously they'll mess up. And now, who's in trouble? The president himself is in trouble because he had to hire these people, and they had to go and violate the right of other human right. For that reason, that is another question that the president need to explain. After that, another question that people are asking is to know that president, with this money, what kind of business was he doing if he's not trading? And as a head of the state, when you raise your left hand, or is it right or left? Right hand, I think, to sworn in and say that, okay, me, President CYRIL Ramaphosa, I have what. When you're saying all these things, you're kind of like trying to let go of certain things and try to put yourself as the head of the state to protect and provide for South Africans. Now, when they have to come and see you getting involved in this kind of money, how will people have to think of you? Because this money, it was not even in rand. Even if it was in rand, it's still too much. We saw it with last Saturday. Last Saturday, when they went in Phala Phala for cow auction. We saw the first rule that they had put there was to say that no one's gonna buy in cash. Everyone will have to transfer the money through the bank. Okay. Now, if this is how you always do, that no one will pay in cash, they'll have to pay the money through the bank. How come they have to come and find you with $4 million in your house? Those are the questions people are asking. Those are very serious questions. Now, obviously, When you're having this kind of money, I'm being honest, according to what me I know so far, it is either you are doing money laundry, a money maybe someone stole somewhere, they come, they give you, or maybe you have sell something and you don't want to pay the tax, and then you feel like, okay, no, if I bring this money in, they're gonna cut a lot of tax. Or either you are like, no, me and my president, if I bring this money in, they're gonna ask me like, okay, but how come I'm still doing business? Because normally it's supposed not to do business. You guys, you saw with the president Donald Trump is a billionaire, multi-billionaire, that man. When he became a president, the first things he did, actually before even his son in, this man, he called his children, he called his son, his daughter, he put them down. He put them in charge of all his companies, all his business. He gave them the signatures. He said that from now on, you guys are going to run this business for me. You can contact me only if it is urgent. If you know that no, here you can't handle, then you can come. If it's about a big decision, then you can come and talk to me about it. But otherwise, please leave me alone. Do you know why Donald Trump did so? Obviously, it was to avoid these kind of things. And the poor man, I have to take on his side on this one. He even said that my salary, don't give me. Take this money, give it to people. Obviously, through different service. Donald Trump, in all his 4 years that was in power, he did not even touch a single cent of his salary. That is how we get to see a person who loves his country. That is how we get to see a person who called himself that he have money. And he's out there. Biden is in, but we never had any story saying that, no, Donald Trump, he stole money, or Donald Trump, he had 4 million on his mattress, or he did some illegal business somewhere. We never had such stories. You know why? Because he was serious, and you know that this is America. Any small mistake, you'll be embarrassed. But here, my friend, this is South Africa, you know, everyone, they do everything the way it pleases them. And it is very pity. So Mr. President here have an explanation to tell people how he managed to have these 4 millions in his house. What was it for? What kind of business? What kind of item was he selling? Those are the questions people would like to know. What was he trying to sell? So that they'll check the value of that item and the money that which was there. So there's a lot of things that through this Phala Phala farm money robbery that really implicate the name of Mr. President in a very bad way. And everyone, the citizens, they've been threatening him to be arrested, because they said this is just too much. There's no need for people to waste time, because the evidence is more clear there, and there's no way that they'll see Ramaphosa going out of this freely because of all these things that I just mentioned here. If he tried to escape from one, another one will be waiting for him. For example, if they ask me a question, where was this money coming from? For example, he say like, no, it was a gift that someone gave me. Okay, which means you have just escaped that part. But the next question will be, why do they have to give you this money? What did you do so that they'll give you this money? If you say, for example, like, no, actually, he's a good friend of mine, he's a president maybe of Namibia or maybe Zambia, he gave me, it was my birthday. Okay, fine. But when he gave you this money, where did you report it to? The next question, how did it get inside the country? Where did you pay tax? When it was stolen, where did you report it to? These people were abused and tortured. Who arrested them? Who gave the order? Was that the job? Let me tell you guys something. In 2007, I was working somewhere as a security, okay? So what happened is that one guy came in. Okay, every time this guy always come and steal. So whenever we have to give the report, we'll find some stuff missing. So apparently this guy, that's what they do. You will come, they will steal, they'll go the radio. So one day I caught him, he stole the radio. As he was going, I don't know whether they have a muti or what, but I was so distracted. I could see the guy coming. The next thing, I'm looking where the radio disappeared. Then I'm like, wait, this guy here, he just stole something. Let me just go there. When I go and stop the guy, I caught him with a very big, nice, big radio. He hide it. So out of my short temper, I attacked this guy. I asked him nicely, and he was like, "Hey, why don't do like that? Let me give you also something. You're working for these people, they don't even pay you nice. Let me just give you something. Don't catch me." I was like, no. So I feel like, no, I want to impress my boss. So I got this guy, and this guy wants to run away. So he punched me. When he punched me, I was like, okay, fine. I punch him back. I still even got a scars here. When I punch him back, the guy had about like a 3 tooth, gold tooth. All of them, they came out. When they came out, isn't it I was right to arrest him and try to defend myself? But do you know that this guy never even want to go anywhere? He started crying, not because I had punched him or what. He's crying because of his tooth. He cried like a baby. And everyone were there. They're like, hey. The next thing, the police, they came. When the police, they arrived, in my mind, I was expecting that the police will arrest this guy because he's a totty. Instead, the police end up arresting me. Do you know why? Because I have done something that I'm supposed not to do. And here are the questions that the police asked me. Who are you here? I told them that, no, I work as a security guard. Okay. You work as a security guard. How come you beat him? I explained myself, and they were like, okay, are you a police? That was the next question. I kept quiet. They were like, okay, do you know that even police don't have the right to beat someone after they have arrested this person? So who give you the authority for you to beat this person? You know, as they were asking me all these questions, I failed to give the answer. Yes, I failed to provide the answer to these questions. And the next things, they pick me up. They arrest me. I went with them like enough. My boss, the owner of the shop, he came. He tried to negotiate. And the next thing, they were like, no, the only thing we can do is that you need to pay. Because this guy, he have the evidence that he got punched by your security guard. He have lost his gold tooth. So we need to value how much is it and how much is it gonna cost him to go see a dentist. So after he mentioned, he said all these things, my boss was like, okay, how much is it gonna be? And they tried to calculate everything. They called the guy. The guy was even refusing. You want to see me go inside the jail? I mean jail. So they tried to threaten this guy and told him that if you don't accept to take this man we are proposing to you, then you must know that we're going to allow you to open the case against this security guard. But you must know that the owner of the shop and this security guard are going to open so 2 cases against you. So we're going to see at the end of the day who's going to be in jail, because you look like you are a totty. We can even see by your face. But this guy, he look more well-organized person. So obviously all the chances will go to his side. So the guy feel like that was like, okay, no, okay, fine. He took the money. The reason why I'm bringing this example, obviously I can also try to picture of how these things of Phala Phala money robbery is going to end, because there will be questions. And the pressures there already. Besides from the politician leaders or opposition parties, the whole nations now, they want to know. Guys, remember, it also started like this with President Jacob Zuma. Yes. Because with President Jacob Zuma, what happened was that we sleep, we wake up, we saw a nice mansion somewhere at KwaZulu-Natal land, and we ask ourselves question to know where is this money coming from? Because when we take your salary, we calculate plus what we have spent. Imagine a person is going to build a swimming pool of 52 million rent. That is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So people obviously don't ask, if your salary is less than 20 million per year, how many years have you been in power for you to go and build that kind of swimming pool? Those are the questions. And here this time we're talking about the president. Now here's something very interesting, guys, that I've been trying to ask myself a question. Though the citizen, they are threatening Mr. President to be arrested. Now the question is, who's going to investigate Mr. President? That's just a question. And here, guys, I want to give you a very pure and clean analytics. Let's try to think together, because obviously the allegations are there already. Mr. President, he got $4 million in cash in his house. This money, how did it get in? Who brought it in? What was it for? When it was stolen, why did he did not bring to these people to the police? Why he have to go and try to deal with these people in secret? You know, was this money did this man pay the tax? You know, all those questions, right? So now the question is to know who's going to investigate Mr. President. Because starting with South Africa Police Service, the Commissioner of Police, Begitele, was nominated by President himself. Yes. Minister of Police is there because the President himself put him there. Who else? The CEO of the CEO of SARS, who's supposed to follow up that, okay, did this money pay the tax? How did this money come inside the country? Okay, how come this money, it was not exchanged in South African money? What was it for? The person who have to follow all these things and ask all these questions, he was also nominated by the president himself. Yes, President Ramaphosa nominated this person. Who else? The CEO of SARB was also nominated by the president himself. What else? Almost all these departments who's supposed to nominate, whether it is even the head of the justice, Minister of Justice, is also part of president. The president is the one who gives them that job. The only person who could have done something better to investigate this, that was the state capture. What is her name again? This lady that the one who got suspended recently by the president himself. She was also nominated by the president. But just because she said that me and my office, we are going to investigate this Phala Phala farm money robbery, the next morning she got suspended. So obviously, guys, you'll tell that the whole queue of these people who's supposed to investigate the Phala Phala farm money, they were all nominated by the president. And no one so far have spoke out. They are quiet. They are trying to protect their stomach because they already see what happened to the state capture. I just forgot the name again, guys. Anyone can remind me the name? Because she said, I'm going to investigate these matters. The next morning, she was out. She tried to appeal inside the court. And obviously, we can tell that this was now political matters, and they suspend the elected. But let me, guys, try to remind you something. You know these things of suspending people when they try to do the job, just because you feel like you are so powerful, you want to stop them from doing the job. Do you know that it's gonna affect you? Do you guys still remember the time of President Jacob Zuma when he suspended this? What is the name again? Is it Tuli Malu? No, not Tuli. Not Tuli Madonsele. There's a this person that President Jacob Zuma did suspended, thinking that okay, since I have taken them out, which means I'll sit now and relax, without knowing that actually just light up the fire. So obviously that is where it's my worry now. We might say everything we want to say, but if there's no right people who will have to investigate these matters, I think it's not gonna work. Because if all of them are corrupt, they would like to protect, because they know if we expose the president, which means we'll be going also as well. Because once the president resigned, which means the whole cabinet, all ministers, they'll have to resign, and the person who's gonna come back is gonna now look and see, okay, who am I going to keep, or who am I going to let go? So that is the only problem that these people are having so far, because otherwise, it's very pity. Very, very, very pity. So the president now at this point, let's hope maybe these people don't do the job, because otherwise we'll keep on complaining the same thing over and over, but at the end nothing will happen. But good news so far is that there's some pressures which are coming from the political party opposition leaders. You know, the DA, they decided to ask the FBI. Yes, they wrote a letter to FBI in America to let them know that in our country, in South Africa, there is an individual, in an individual house, they find $4 million US. Can you guys tell us from your side, how come this money leave your country to be in our country? Because as far we know, on our side, South Africa, this money is not in the records, not in the bank, not in the taxpayer service, not in business or anything. So we want to know if you guys you are aware about this. And trust me, FBI, those people, they can trace that money. FBI, they can trace it. So they ask Americans, because when we're talking about FBI, it's like we're talking about American government. So they ask FBI to come and explain or to trace this money. Where did it come from, and how did it enter inside South Africa, and how, like, those are the questions that they're asking. Obviously, we hope that FBI will have to respond any moment soon. So, but beside that, the EFF on the side and other opposition parties, they said that it is over for President Ramaphosa. They said that it is over. They don't believe in him. He had proven that he was not a president on one side. Instead, he was kind of like acting as a president and at the same time as a businessman, which is forbidden. Yes, which is forbidden, because you can't be a president trying to lead the nation at the same time you are being a business. And that's the reason why I gave you guys an example of Donald Trump, who had to call his children and take everything like, okay, no, guys, that is, go start signing, do all this, no one must not come and disturb. So he cleaned his hand, so that even if his children, they had to do something wrong, that does not concern him. Remember, Donald Trump had a very big casino in how do you call it, in Russia, and that casinos, we all know how Americans, they don't get along with Russia because they feel like they're challenging each other power. So obviously that was going to be another opportunity for these people to accuse Donald Trump of betrayal. But unfortunately, they did not get enough proof, because how are you going to accuse Donald Trump because he's the president while the business is being run by someone else? He left his son there who were in charge of all those things. I think that was something that President Ramaphosa or any person in this country would love to be a president. From the moment when you are being elected, if you have any money, whether it is in cash, whether it is you had invested in business, please try to find someone else who will run these things. And you clean your hands. You don't need to stick yourself on the business at the same time trying to lead the country. Because if you're doing business and you want to be a president, which means one day you'll end up trading the whole country. Who knows? Perhaps this is the reason why we're having so many unemployment everywhere. We're having problem of ESCOM, and everything's now they want to make it private. They had started already with South Africa Airline. Very soon you're going to see how the airline is going to be very expensive for you even to travel from Joburg to Durban or Cape Town. What you're going to see how expensive it's going to be. Because advantage of public enterprise is better that they have a normal price, and this price they put it cheaper for the whole nation to benefit from it. But when it goes to the private companies, then they see their own interest. No matter how cheap you put the tax for them, you say, okay, instead of you paying 30%, you can even pay 15%. For them, they're still going to increase the price. Even if you give your own price, they'll respect it for 1, 2, 3 months. Come next day, you find they already put like 50 rand or 100 rand on their own, and they will come up with excuses. No, it's when my workers, they were striking, they want me to increase the money. So when they want me to increase the salary, that's how we had also to put this. Too much excuses. So now they went, they sell, they say a airline on a very cheap price, thinking that, okay, since we can't manage to run it, private companies will be able to manage to run it properly. That's a very big mistake. Now, as we're talking, the rest start also doing the same with ESCOM. No, ESCOM, they are not able to provide electricity for everyone. So since that is the case, let's sell it to the private companies. They sell a lot of shares, which is not bad. But the only problem now is that the electricity is going, the prices are going to be high. Because private is, they have their own way of dealing or doing the stuff. They're not like government. And at the end of the day, it's going to affect us. We are the one who are going to pay a very high price from all this. Yes. Because all this price, when they are going high, our salaries at the place that we are working is not going to change. Tell me something, since the petrol price went high, did your salary get increased? Did your boss or maybe your company or your manager call you and said that, okay, no, look, now that everything's price have gone up, your salary will have increased it on this? No. You know why? Because there's all this price getting increased, it is benefiting someone out there and not us. Wait, very soon you'll see the strikes. They already started, and that is nothing. What you'll see very soon, the strikes actually, they will be even one of the things that will chase Ramaphosa from the office, because it is a movement which is growing up. It's gonna take the whole country. Imagine you'll be going there, they pay you 100 rand. You go inside the shop, but you can't find anything that will buy with that 100 rand. Like last time when I went for shopping, when I arrived on the cooking oil site, I look at the cooking oil. The 2 liters that we used to buy 14 rand, 17 rand if it is very expensive. In time of Jacob Zuma, I find the 2 liter cooking oil 128 rand. That is very expensive. That's very expensive. So I mean, I did not even get the courage for me to go ahead and check how much is 5 liter cooking oil. Because if 2 liters that much, which means five liters, obviously, I don't know, maybe it's now 500 or what, I don't know. Or when you ask politicians, they'll tell you like, no, it's all about Russia, Russia and the Ukraine scandal is what is affecting. No, 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 no. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. Things, they'll keep on affecting us like this as long we keep remaining, staying in all these kind of corruptions, where people that we trust, they are being corrupted. Yet them, they're living a life. The children, they're somewhere in overseas. Whenever they make a call, Dad, Mom, I want this, they send the money. Oh no, Mom, ish, I'm tired. This weekend I want to come for holiday. Oh, you want to come holiday just for a weekend? There's the money. So it looked like we are here to accompany all these people for them to live a better life that some of us who don't deserve. They're playing. They're playing with us, guys. So for that reason, guys, I think it is all up to us to know who to trust and who not to trust. Because as you just see for yourself how I try to explain everything in these videos, you can tell how a person who's being honest with you and the person who's not honest with you. It's very simple for you to have at least an idea about all that. So I think that will be it for today, because we have passed 1 hour. I hope you guys, you had learned something in this today video. Please do like these videos, guys. Share the video, subscribe to the channel if this is your first time to be here. I will really do appreciate. Okay, tomorrow is another day. We'll come back again to you guys and get to tell you what will be preparing for you. But for now, I think you guys, now you understand President Ramaphosa is being exposed. The trade now, everyone, they want to get explanation. If there's no explanation, then you'll have to go where everyone belongs. And this time is not about politics or what, but people, they just want to know like, okay, you have money, we accept, but with this money, are you able to expend it in a very good way or not? So let's wait and see. But me personally, I still have a big doubt, because everyone will have to investigate this Phala Phala money. All of them, they were nominated by this person, Mr. President. So at the same time, they would like to protect the tummies. And that is my fear. But anyway, once again, let's wait and see. Perhaps some people who have the honest spirit, they'll come forward and try to really break down all this corrupt system. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video until now. Before you leave, do me a favor, hit that like button, please, guys. I really do appreciate. The reason why I always insist you liking the videos, because it is a way of you supporting us, or a way of you contributing to what we are doing as well. So it's not like I'm asking you money or what, it's just liking the video and that is it. Because there's someone somewhere there, out there, who want to hear what I just spoke to you right now. So let us not be stingy to not share with other people. So let's be able to just like the video, if possible, share the video. I'll really do appreciate that. But for now, Continue to be yourself. Have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. Be good, be kind. May God bless you all. Have a good night. I'll see you again tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.